Good afternoon, and welcome to the first blog for Morning Eagle Ministries of 2012, which is, well, the second blog for Morning Eagle Ministries. Um, just want to touch on a couple things before I get into today's message. My attempt of what I'm doing here is kind of to keep things short. I'm going to go on and touch on some things, and that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to brush the surface of principles, of teachings of God's Word as I see it, as I'm learning it. And the point is to plant a seed, to help make you think, to help you look it up yourself. I've always been of the feeling that if a preacher is worth his salt, he's going to tell you straight up, look it up yourself if you don't believe it. Because I could be wrong. I'm human. And in my case, trust me, there's a real good chance I could be wrong. But that's kind of the thing. I'm not here to do hour-long sermons or teach weekend seminars. Maybe someday, who knows. But right now, it's just to teach some things, plant some seeds, get you to think, get myself to think, get myself to put some of these principles into action. So I'll be honest, there's a little bit of selfishness involved here. This is an attempt for me to learn through teaching. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you so you can kind of understand what it is I'm trying to do and why didn't I elaborate on something. Maybe there is more that you'll pick up off of it. Maybe there'll be something I say that'll make you think, that'll make you realize that there's more to it. That's my goal, is to get you to think and to get you to look into God's Word and check it yourself. Well, with that said, let's get into God's Word. In the Bible, in today's teaching, it comes from Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 and 8. It's also a principle that Christ taught and is recorded in Luke chapter 11, verses 9 and 10. But today I'll be reading from Matthew. In the King James Version, in Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 and 8, it reads, "Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and he that knocketh, it shall be opened." In the Amplified Version, which I like a lot because the translations are a little bit more in depth, and it's also, in current English and not old English. In the Amplified Version, it reads, "Keep on asking, and it will be given you. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking reverently, and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who keeps on asking receives, and he who keeps on seeking finds. And to him who keeps on knocking, the door will be opened." These are verses that a lot of people know. A lot of people that aren't even Christians probably have heard these principles. And there's a lot in there. One of the things I love about God's Word is there's multiple layers and there's multiple teachings possible out of just a couple simple verses. And because there is so much in these, I'm not going to get into all of this. 2 points I wanted to make out of this verse that I heard last night, and it really kind of impacted me. That's why I wanted to share it with you guys today. I've probably heard this part of it before, and it just never really clicked. I know when people hear this, they think it's just simply about prayer, which that's part of it. But there's a couple keys here that I didn't get till last night, or at least maybe if I had gotten it before, I had forgotten it. When I heard it last night, it really kind of hit home. The first point is that, he's going to give you what you want. If you ask, if you seek it, if you knock. You've got to do something. I have got to do something in order for us to receive it. That's a principle that applies whether you're asking God directly for something, or even asking a friend for help, or something along those lines. Even if you've lost your keys, you can't find them until you seek them. So it works. It's a principle that works in real life as well as in the spiritual life. And again, that simple key of, but you've got to do something first. It's definitely something that I needed to hear. I know that's something I need to work on. It's probably why it hit so home, hit so hard last night when I heard it. It was kind of a wake up call. But you don't have to do it all, because he will give it to you. But you've got to do something, and that's what I do. I love about that, about God. He's not looking to spoil us. He gave us our free will to be able to do these things for ourselves, so that we can learn from our actions. You don't have to do a lot necessarily, but you got to do something. The other part I like, and this is the Amplified really kind of stressed this to me, was the keep on asking, keep on seeking, keep on knocking. Don't quit. Do something and don't quit. Real simple principles. Real easy, right? To say, not so easy to do necessarily. Just you've got to keep asking. You've got to keep seeking. Why? Because, well, again, let's put it in real world principles. If I lost my keys and I only look on the kitchen table and don't look anywhere else, I'm not going to find them, especially if they're not on the kitchen table. On the spiritual side of things, there's, why does God want us to keep on asking and keep on seeking and keep on knocking? Well, one, maybe we're looking for the wrong thing, or maybe, like I just described about looking for the keys at the kitchen table when they're not there, is looking in the wrong place. Those are things that He wants us to learn. He wants us to learn to look faithfully and to look for the right things in the right places. Ask for the right things. Ask, for what we need. A lot of times we ask for what we want, and as humans, most of the time, what we want is the exact opposite of what we need. And He knows this. He's not going to give us what's going to harm us. He's going to give us what we need, and He wants us to figure that out ourselves. That's why He wants us to keep at it, so that we finally get to the point and ask for what we need. So anyway, those are the kind of points that I wanted to brush on. I say it's brief. There's a lot more that I could go into. There's a lot more that a lot more talented preacher could get into, I'm sure. But they're principles that I heard, I say, that touched my life, and I wanted to share with you. Those simple acts of doing something and not quitting. Now we just need to go out and practice. I know I do. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for letting me share with you today. And I will talk to you all sometime next week or here in the near future. And thanks again for looking at Morning Eagle Ministries and looking at God's Word. Like I said, check it out for yourself. It's great stuff.